A new recycling truck arrived at Tzu Chi Sanxia Grounds. Volunteers in Malaysia embrace the ideal of an act of kindness per person keeps the calamities away. Welcome to DaAi Headlines, I'm Hu Chiao. Thank you for tuning in. In New Taipei City's Tzu Chi Sanxia Grounds, 5 recycling trucks reached a 20-year mark as it has many issues. Because of this, Tzu Chi volunteer Chen Xiuxiu passionately asked entrepreneurs and Tzu Chi honorary board members for a new recycling truck. And as everyone responded eagerly, the new truck came equipped with an elevation platform, easier for volunteers to carry heavy items. Running almost everywhere and under many conditions, for 20 years, recycling trucks from New Taipei City's Tzu Chi Sanxia Grounds are getting older. The trucks are also in a bad condition. When we drive this out to recycle, the car will run out of electricity and fail, sometimes it even has problems of engine overheating. Worried about the safeness of recycling trucks and wanting to contribute more towards the recycling mission, Tzu Chi volunteer Chen Xiuxiu eagerly asked honorary board members and entrepreneurs for funds.
Recycling volunteers do recycling every day. They must be safe. It's better for them to be earlier and later to be safe. So if we can get the funds for a new truck, that will be nice. The sister then agreed with me. Tzu Chi $1 NT dollars can be utilized as 10 NT dollars. So we want to utilize the funds in the most effective ways.
A brand new recycling truck brought a new mood to the recycling station. On the truck, there's even a new included feature. There's this elevation platform here. For example, if we were to bring up heavy machinery, like refrigerators or televisions, we won't need that many people to carry it. Good deeds are better to be done by multiple people. As the new recycling truck is available to use, recycling volunteers can easily protect the environment. In Keelung, Tzu Chi's assistive device platform went to the donor's home, carried electric beds, wheelchairs, and then transferred them to families in need. This mission from receiving the gift to giving it out has displayed the kindness of Taiwanese people.
Keelung and Taipei, this common living circle, now has an extra connection of love.
We just walk on the road. We will see many elders, so we know that more people will need to use these resources.
I was thinking that my husband had that kindness when he was still alive. Now that he passed away, we'll give these items to those in need.
After the use assistive devices, they must be repaired, cleaned, and disinfected. The professional team complete the task neatly.
Thank you so much for helping us deliver this kind of bed.
Every time we deliver something, their eyes satisfy us. Therefore, it jinx an aphorism saying that in helping others to enrich themselves.
Cuttlefish produces over 2,000 eggs per year, but due to the habit of moving to a coastline during reproduction period, they're often caught by fishermen before giving birth to their next generation. This causes a drastic decline in their population. In order to help the species, the New Taipei City government started to restore the population of cuttlefish starting from 2015. Moreover, the government worked with NTOU's DOA, led by Assistant Professor Xu Dehua. It took the research team 2 years to try out all sorts of methods as they finally triumphed in cuttlefish restoration. Nowadays, in New Taipei City's Gongliao district, a cuttlefish restoration is held on a yearly basis, and it is a very well-known local event. At New Taipei City's Ocean Restoration Grounds, a special event is held at this time of every year.
After wild cuttlefish reproduce, we'll discharge their next generations into the sea.
In the pond, cuttlefish pair up as they seem to be dancing, but some cuttlefish seem slower than others, displaying exhaustion. Why so? This is because they are grabbing onto their chances of reproduction, exhausting themselves in order to produce the next generation.
We call this fish culture in water-running ponds. This type of cultivation method draws fresh seawater from the outside, and once it flows into the pond, the excess water flows outwards. This creates a balance of water motion.
Sepia veronis is the most common cuttlefish in Taiwan. The species normally dwells in the deep sea with a depth of hundreds of meters, though after Lunar New Year, Sepia veronis will swim towards shallow waters during the reproductive season. At this time, fishermen catches these cuttlefish, causing their population to drastically decline.
When a cuttlefish is near the coastline, fishermen are able to catch them. But when you bring it up, it's hard to tell if it finished spawning. So if the fishermen caught too many, it might affect the cuttlefish catch amount next year.
Due to the declining amount of cuttlefish, the new Taipei city government started a cuttlefish restoration project starting from 2015, a project under the collaboration with NTOU. The small cuttlefish weighs from 600 grams and grows up to 1.8 kilograms, 3 times its original size. In order to pair up the cuttlefish, researchers maintain a male-to-female ratio of 1:1. During reproduction, the male cuttlefish will go with the female cuttlefish throughout the process.
Because we're raising the cuttlefish in our own setting, whenever they are reproducing, we can throw in more food so that the female cuttlefish will spawn more eggs.
Xu Dehua is an assistant professor at the Department of Agriculture. He participated in the restoration project for over 6 years, as he is fluent in the workflow now. But at the first 2 years, he actually experienced many failures.
There are actually very limited cuttlefish cultivation projects around the world. This is firstly because cuttlefish are smart, and since they are smart, they will often be scared and spit out ink, so it acts very differently in comparison to other cultivation species.
Recalling the past cultivation process, Xu Dehua learns from his mistakes. Though cuttlefish appears to be calm, it actually is very sensitive to its surrounding environment. If there are any changes to their surroundings, cuttlefish will be frightened to death.
Sometimes when cuttlefish fight with each other, they will get scared, and after they spit out ink, within a small space, it will affect others, causing other cuttlefish to spit ink. Once the entire pond is filled with ink, some other cuttlefish will feel pressure and die.
Therefore, workers at the pond work very carefully, avoiding any interaction that could scare the cuttlefish. After dealing with the cuttlefish emotions, the next hard part is the egg incubation process. Assistant Professor Xu Dehua found out that if the cuttlefish are laid out on a hollow brick and then placed into blue baskets, the incubation success rate could go up to 80%.
At the start, we tried to take the fertilized eggs, but sometimes if there are too many eggs on top of one another, the eggs below will experience a lack of oxygen and a slower development. Therefore, the infertile eggs below will rot.
Newly handpicked eggs are just like grape flesh. On the outside is a soft membrane covering with seawater, which functions like amniotic fluids, providing nutrition to the cuttlefish. In some membranes, tiny cuttlefish with big eyes are described as cute by researchers.
Look at this egg, it absorbed a lot of water and it's transparent now.
Under an artificial environment, cuttlefish no longer has to worry about natural enemies, as they can eat freely and reproduce whenever they want to. This increases the reproduction rate of cuttlefish. One female cuttlefish can produce up to 2,000 eggs, yet not every egg may hatch.
Like these 2 eggs, they failed to hatch. One might have spit ink during the process. Normally speaking, cuttlefish won't spit ink when they're incubated.
After cuttlefish are grown to 2 centimeters, researchers will release them back into the sea. At the reintroduction event each year in Gongliao District's coastline, many arrive to celebrate the savings of lives.
The first few years, we released a lot of cuttlefish, and as of now, each year we release about 5,000 cuttlefish, about 10,000 fertilized eggs.
Back into the ocean and regaining the freedom once again. Though cuttlefish have a short lifespan, they are mesmerizing and appreciated by many. Master Zhenyan has called for an act of kindness per person movement for 20 years. Tzu Chi people have collected kind thoughts and love nonstop, hoping to start the one thought of kindness ideal. As long as there is more kindness, there will be more peace, and an act of kindness per person keeps calamities away.
Tzu Chi Malaysia chapter has been following Master's teachings for 20 years. Every October 13th, it promotes an act of kindness per person and spreads love around. Beginning in 2017, every year on this day, volunteers will take to the streets to inspire everyone on loving kindness. However, due to the pandemic, the campaign was forced to move to online fundraising, but the mission and love of Tzu Chi people are always there.
The easiest way to do good is to put money into the donation box. To do this kind of action, in fact, we have inspired two kinds of hearts. One is the heart of giving and the other is compassion. When we talk about compassion, many times we are still limited to "I just have compassion for others." So in this year, we want to go one step further and extend our love to all animals. This year, the key point of an act of kindness per person to keep calamities away is to promote vegetarianism. It is hoped that everyone can better implement this concept.
A study by international renowned psychologist David Hutchinson shows that human beings have different energy levels, and the life will fluctuate in strength and weakness with mental condition.
Our body is made of quantum, and every quantum has that kind of vibration. When we are depressed, the frequency of these vibrations is relatively low and we are more prone to cancer. However, good thoughts are with high vibration frequency. When our heart is full of love, this love can extend to others, so this vibration frequency will affect our communication between people.
When our thoughts have high frequency benevolent souls, it can form a resonance of benevolent souls and influence each other.
You have 5 things that you don't need to use money to give at all. When you meet others, you respond with a smile. For example, that person is very lost, you encourage him, and you pray for those who are alive with love, hoping that the families who have lost their beloved ones have the courage to face the challenges in life in the future. When you see an old man holding a lot of things, you help him take it and help others with action. Don't look at people with hostile eyes. With a benevolent view and without spending any money, this society will be better. Because we are all spreading love and bring sunshine to others, and the one who receives your love will spread the sunshine further as well. This will be like a ripple effect to spread this love.
When all people in the world spread good thoughts, the positive energy generated will change everything in the world. Making an act of kindness per person keeps calamities away is not a slogan, but the best solution to keep humans away from the disaster.
Inspired by an act of kindness per person movement, Tzu Chi volunteer in Penang Jing Sihao, Zhuang'ai Bi, continued to raise funds and awareness on a hospital bed. She uses her cell phone to raise money from relatives and friends, inspiring love in many people she talks to. Let's take a look.
破2就是破除不好的习气。
Tzu Chi volunteer in Penang Jing Sihao, Zhuang'ai Bi, was inconvenient to walk due to bone spurs pressing over the nerves of the feet. During the pandemic, when the Jing Sihao could not be open due to the movement control order, she underwent an operation, hoping to continue her volunteer mission. During her recuperation, Zhuang'ai Bi participated in an online study group. Knowing that other volunteers were actively raising funds for medical equipment, she also exerted a magical power to inspire relatives and friends to join.
After the operation, I was mostly lying in the bed and doing nothing. I felt very uneasy. Seeing that the pandemic is severe and the lack of the medical equipment makes me very worried. My grandson heard that I wanted to raise funds, so he gave me the advice. He said, "Grandma, you can send a message of your friends," and he was my first member to donate. I always send the message first and then call them to explain the point.
再跟他们联络，再跟他们解释。我们慈济啊，要募那个医疗器材的啊。
Raising funds in bed is simple, but not easy, especially since her waist injury has not healed. But the difficulties she faces are not only that, but also people's doubts.
I have received a message that they are complaining about what Tzu Chi people have done. Raising the money to buy equipment for the hospital is not your business, it's the government's business. He doesn't understand. No matter who we are, regardless of race, Tzu Chi must save. If we were sent to the intensive care unit today, we would die without a breath. And the virus can affect breathing. Without those respirators, there is no salvation. Or because there is not enough equipment, how can the doctor save us? So we have to compare our hearts to our hearts. How can the doctor save the people without equipment? So we have to have empathy.
After recovering from the operation, Chen Xiuxiu participated in the vegetarian campaign promoted by entrepreneurs and delivered vegetarian food to the disabled center and nursing home every Saturday.
The master teachings said that being vegetarian is urgent. It must be promoted. So I try to persuade people around me to be a vegetarian and promote it to my friends and my children. I'm very grateful for my children and grandchildren to follow me as a vegetarian. When we went to the disabled center and nursing home to promote vegetarianism, the residents were also very happy to join. They said that the vegetarian dishes we gave them were delicious. They will gradually eat more vegetarian food.
Regardless of whether Chen Xiuxiu is lying in the bed or suffering from injuries, she still uses her life ability, inspires more people's love, and sows the seeds of goodness among people. It is hoped that everyone will have kind thoughts and use their love to make the world a better place. At Indonesia, a detention center in East Jakarta organizes vocational training regularly in order to help inmates find a job after serving their sentence. Recently, some planning courses were held. It is hoped that the inmate students can become urban farmers and improve their lives through farming in the future.
Recently, the detention center in East Jakarta organized vocational training to teach inmates how to grow hydroponics. The vocational training course, which started to be held in June this year, is to help inmates master a basic skill in becoming an urban farmer to meet their family's needs or increase families' incomes in the future. Because of the pandemic, it is even more difficult for inmates to find a job. In order to avoid virus transmission, everyone strictly observed the pandemic prevention measures during the training, including wearing masks and keeping a safe social distance. Only 10 students were allowed to attend face-to-face training in the classroom.
Betul sekali tujuan utama kita seperti itu.
The main purpose of our vocational training is to let the inmates to acquire the knowledge of farming,
sehingga mereka bisa punya keahlian di bidang.
Especially they can make good use of the space at home for hydroponic planting. Later, they can improve their financial status and meet the needs of their families. There may be business opportunities as well.
Minimal untuk sayur-mayur mereka tidak usah beli.
During the training, students can learn how to make containers for hydroponic cultivation using water pipes. Inmate Zharu was sentenced for 5 years in prison because of drug addiction. For him, this vocational training has not only benefited him a lot, but also honed his carefulness and patience.
I have to be more careful and patient because here, everyone learned and tried out together, so I'm able to grasp the knowledge. But if at home, I won't be able to understand it, so I have to be more attentive so that I can practice hydroponic farming at home.
Before participating in a training course, these students, who are between 17 and 14 years old, have to go through a screening process to understand their abilities. Through hosting skills training, these inmates can regain their self-confidence and can embark on the right path when they return to society in the future.
In Indonesia, there's a marketing consultant who volunteered to assist the industry in transforming online marketing during the epidemic. Not only does he provide consultation, he also helps local vendors in product shooting.
This is Rafik's daily routine. Apart from working as a digital marketing consultant every day, he is also willing to spend time to assist small and medium-sized enterprises in Nusa Jaya village, Tangerang City, by helping them to take pictures of their products for promotion. Because of the pandemic, many small and medium-sized enterprises cannot survive. Rofik is willing to provide free shooting services and also teaches the company owners to switch to online marketing.
Alhamdulillah kalau misalnya ada
I'm so grateful to be able to obtain the free shooting services. Especially during the epidemic prevention period, everyone's economy is affected. With this service, at least our products are presented in a more interesting way to attract customers. It may even increase our income.
penghasilan kita nanti gitu akan ada pengaruhnya lah.
During the epidemic, many companies have switched to online services. This 28-year-old youth decided to start driving local small and medium-sized enterprises to change to online marketing.
Pasti itu berangkat dari tujuan kami bersama.
The purpose of this activity is to promote the products of the small and medium enterprises in Nusa Gaya village.
Kita pun punya tagline bahwasannya UMKM Nusa Jaya menuju Nusantara. Salah satunya sih kita pengen go digital, go online. Gimana kita kan mau melangkah.
Since everyone is going digital, so we make changes gradually, like updating or designing the logo or shooting products.
Memperbaiki si logo produknya, mendesain label produknya, itu sih dari sampai kita memfotokan produknya.
The decoration used in shooting are all recycled materials, including fabrics and wood. The company owners only needs to send their products to him so as to enjoy the free shooting service. He will then email the pictures to the company owners. After the shooting, company owners can also inquire about the ways of marketing of their products.
Kalau Mas Rofik ya itu
Rofi is an energetic young man. He is willing to cooperate with us, the small and medium-sized enterprise. This really helps us, especially in this digital era.
kami untuk dengan adanya Mas Opik dan opik-opik yang lainnya yang pandai desain ataupun zaman sekarang ya.
Local people are happy with Rofik's assistance because they just simply took pictures of their products in the past and have no idea about online marketing. With Rofik's help, the businesses of many small and medium-sized enterprises have gradually improved.
Untuk kelompok UMKM, kita membentuk dulu pembina UMKM-nya yang profesional.
For the products of small and medium-sized enterprises, we have set up a counseling group according to everyone's expertise, and everyone's willing to provide free advice voluntarily, from product design, packaging, shooting, online marketing, and so on. We are so grateful that everyone is willing to provide complimentary assistance.
Sukarela gratis membantu teman-teman UMKM untuk.
Within a week, Rofik can assist 18 local company owners to suit their products and provide marketing information, hoping to help restore the economic situation of the locals as soon as possible.
In Taichung's Taiping Chang'an Environmental Protection Station, a senior recycling volunteer, Liu Biluan, reaches 100 years old this year. 10 years ago, she got to know recycling station through neighbors as she practiced recycling every day. The senior's secret to longevity is to not be picky, going vegetarian, and doing recycling. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.